my life it changed. I was in Bosnia, and then from Bosnia to Croatia, and I was working with the people. I was more like social and a lot. And in Zagreb, the Zagreb has a big event going calling Zagrebački Velesajam, which all the people on the world from America, from French, from Italy, from all come together and represent what they do. So I was mostly every year in there with other people. And so for me was like, I need come to that industry where I can be around the people or help people or do some kind of thing, and not be, like I say, mostly like not only about cooking. It was like I'm not working my life for. I start. It was $6.25 an hour, and end up even I was main cook. I make $10.50 an hour, not even $11, nothing.
Yeah.
My apartment that time was $600.
Okay.
A month.
And plus the food and everything. So my ex-husband, my husband at that time, he was not able to pick up the English and pick up stuff. So he was working for also minimum wage in some companies. And then he cannot get a loan. Then he quit, and I'm working by myself.
Oh my gosh!
It was very hard. But when I started this business, I was spread to the people the well known from one of the parish, and I was having left and right in the houses, and I start doing the caregiving. And then from there, they went to the nursing homes. So when I end up in nursing home, the people, the directors and executive and health department nurses and stuff, they notice it and say, we have a cases, we have elderly, they need extra help and stuff. So I start growing bigger and bigger and end up doing for my own independent contractor caregiving and having my own clients, and so that's where I start.
So I have a question, because a lot of immigrants will come here and they'll be happy with the minimum and they'll be happy with what they get. Maybe most of them are not happy, right? But it seems to me that you always wanted more. Like you could recognize that this is not who you were. You were meant for something bigger. Do you know where that comes from?
I think from my early age, being a little child and caring for everything and doing everything and be responsible for everything. And in my age 14, I was, it was happened big earthquake in my country, which a lot of houses has the damages. And I was a little girl. I cannot speak for the adults, but I encourage my grandma, who was not having any school, anything. She doesn't know how to read. She never go to school because she was born and her mother died on her birth.
Oh, wow.
And nobody sent her to school. So her house was very damaged. So I was age 13, 14 girl. I went to the big bank and get inspection and inspect my grandma's house, and she gets money to repair, and she just only has to go with me to press her finger to just say I am this. But I was basically starting whole process and age that young.
So you already learned about getting money, about how banks, like business basically.
Wow,
that's
and
exciting.
Starting, just being like, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. It doesn't matter, nothing will stop you. You can do this. So I think it comes on my early age, and that's where I am. And also speaking about being refugee, when I was in the middle of the Bosnia, the other people sit there and waiting for the food to be served. I went to the kitchen where was what's calling the main kitchen for the delivering the food, and they have to distribute like people who live in that convention camp. And there I asked the operator and I said, can I do something? And he said, but we no pay. I say, but just okay if I can work for extra portion for my son to have food, because we get one portion and that's for whole day. And we are hungry, especially the little kids. And there was also my husband's side of the family who has a kid. And I say, if I can come and share to these little kids and feed them extra portion, I will work all day.
It's amazing.
So I went and asked him, and he was like, okay, I will hire you. Looks like you really determined me and encouraged me. And I went and served for all these people, and the end we saved the food for us because that was our payoff.
That was your pay basically.
And give to our families extra portion, and that was big deal that time.
You were a leader. You were a superhero basically.
So,
and you didn't want to wait. You didn't want to wait. You wanted to take action. So
and that's awesome, because that's what a leader does. A leader, an entrepreneur, they don't sit around and wait for things to happen. They go make it happen. And maybe it was because of your upbringing, because you basically at a very young age were forced to, you had to figure it out, So a lot of times people look at the bad things that happen and they look at it as like, woe is me. The bad things that happened to you, or not, I don't want to say the bad, the adversity that you went through actually made you stronger. It made you a leader. It made you independent. It made you be able to overcome everything. And in essence, like, I've learned through my life that as soon as you set an intention and you start going after it, the universe will start to open up the doors for you to go after what you wanted. So because you were putting in the work, because you never sat back, because when you were in the concentration camp and you said, I'm not just going to sit here and wait, I'm going to go up to the cook, and he's like, wow, who's this person? Like, the universe said, okay, you're the one that's going to get picked. You're the one that's going to go to the United States. Because you put in the work, and you took advantage of that opportunity. So that's amazing, right? And so I give you a lot of credit for that. And I hope you realize that. Like, I hope you understand that you did something very powerful and very special, and you should be very proud of yourself for doing that.
And also, I think the love that you have for your family is everything. That's like your biggest motivation, inspiration.
Thank you.